Coming up on OU Nightly. Everyone is talking about tariffs, so how do they work and what's the motivation behind them? OU Nightly breaks it down for you. Plus, funding for language preservation cut? Which campus programs may be on the chopping block? In another aviation mishap, the victims now identified, we have the latest in News Center. This is OU Nightly.
Uncertainty this evening in the escalating trade war between the U.S. and its major trading partners. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Olivia Hayes.
And I'm Julia Roberts. This week, President Trump's raised tariffs on U.S. imports to 145%. China pushed back with 125%.
With so many questions surrounding the tax and their impacts, our OU Nightly reporter Victoria Anderson is taking us back to class to learn the basics.
The word tariff used to just be a word in our history books, but now it's the word on the tip of everyone's tongue, mostly in the form of questions.
Even some they maybe should have asked before casting their vote.
Trump's tariff plan includes a 10 to 20% tariff on all imported goods, and countries like China might even see an additional tariff of up to 60 to 80%.
Right, but what is a tariff? Dr. Johnson?
Essentially, a tariff is a tax on imported goods.
Right, but can you explain it like I'm in class?
Well, let's say, you're going to buy a t-shirt. You can buy it from a US provider, or you can get it from China for $5. So if those shirts are the same, 20 or 5, you're like, hey, let's buy the $5 one. That's a great deal. If a tariff suddenly were to be put in place, and now, that $5 shirt becomes $30, now your choices are $20 US shirt or $30 imported shirt. Well, I guess I'll buy the $20 one, but I'm not really happy about it.
Got it. I think I understand. But what about Oklahoma? How will this impact our industries?
If we were to put a tariff on China, there is a very high likelihood they'll put a tariff back on us. And we send a lot of soybeans and a lot of beef to China, which means that all these farmers that are producing soybeans, producing beef, now they don't have somewhere to sell it to.
Right, so even though the idea can be hard to understand, the impacts aren't.
Economists predict a rare economic crisis is on the horizon,
Which just means more searching for answers. Class dismissed. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Victoria Anderson, Gaylord News.
Thank you, Victoria. While critics warn President Trump's policy could lead to an economic crisis, the White House is urging Americans to trust the president's plan. And the sun is out and the air is warm, the perfect mix if you're looking to go outside today.
But not so great if you have to deal with allergies. Luckily, OU Nightly meteorologist Carlin McCurley is here to tell us what we all need to know. Carlin?
Yeah, ladies, it feels just amazing outside, but I'm sure you've noticed the sniffling. I've had to get lots of Kleenexes over the past few days. Right now, temperatures across the metro, we're in the mid to upper 70s, 75 in Oklahoma City, and extending outwards, kind of the same trend. But to talk a little bit more about those allergies, I'm going to send it over to OU Nightly meteorologist Parker Schroeder. Parker?
Yeah, Carlin, it is absolutely gorgeous here on the South Oval. It is clear skies, bright and sunny conditions, but if you have been dealing with those little bit of these allergy issues, this guy might be a little bit of the culprit right here, so you might have to be getting some of those tissues as you head out the door today. But Carlin will have the rest of your updated forecast when it comes to your weekend and when it comes to your allergies. But Carlin, I got the sleeves rolled up, and so I think I'm going to go for a little bit of a jog, but I'll go ahead and send it back to you, Carlin.
Sounds great, Parker. Perfect jogging weather. And coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk about how we could see some summer temperatures this weekend, along with your full weekend forecast. Ladies?
Thanks, Carlin. The preservation of Native American languages may be in jeopardy after grants are terminated funding a project. OU Nightly Amy Acevedo has the details.
Oklahoma is home to 38 federally recognized Native American tribes and 25 different Native American languages. However, the state is a language endangerment hotspot, with more critically endangered languages than anywhere else in the United States. In 2022, the Sam Noble Oklahoma Museum of Natural History received a $345,000 $494 grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities to make native language learning materials available online.
It's the first time any of the collection materials have been made available online, and really that's an expectation for language archives nowadays.
But on Wednesday, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, terminated the grants that funded the museum's project.
I think 3,000, something like that. NEH employees have been terminated, but that is going to have huge knock-on effects for the humanities and our public events.
And not only do these cuts impact the Native American language program here at Sam Noble, they also hurt the people who help bring them to life.
This grant has employed many students over its 3-year lifetime, and I have 4 currently employed now on this grant that as of this week, next week, have lost their jobs. A huge amount of sovereignty is language and culture, and if you do not protect your language and culture assets and foster those things, then that affects your sovereignty, which we should all care about as a nation.
Reporting in Norman, Amy Acevedo, OU Nightly.
Through this grant, one of the annual events held by the museum is their Oklahoma Native American Youth Language Fair, the largest event for linguistic diversity in the state. The museum said they're dedicated to keeping the fair, but it will just require figuring out where the money will come from.
And we're learning more about that tragic helicopter crash in the Hudson River. The latest update from our OU Nightly News Center coming up.
And the tariff war continues between the U.S. and China, both countries continuing to raise the stakes. We'll tell you how when we return.
Search for answers in 2 separate deadly aircraft crashes in the U.S. within a day of each other. OU Nightly's Reagan Garvin has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center.
Olivia, while federal investigators are looking into the cause of the helicopter crash in New York Thursday, we're learning new information about the victims. Among the 6 on board was a tech company executive from Spain, his wife, and their 3 children, who were on a sightseeing tour. The pilot also died. Officials say the flight was airborne for less than 18 minutes before suddenly crashing into the Hudson River. And in Florida, 3 people are killed in a small plane crash near a major interstate highway this morning. Boca Raton fire rescue officials in southern Florida say the eruption from the crash left 1 person in a nearby car injured. The FAA says the plane was headed to Tallahassee. No one on board survived. And a Louisiana immigration judge ruled today legal resident and Columbia University graduate Mahmoud Khalil is deportable. The judge's decision follows a memo submitted Wednesday by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. It alleges Khalil, a pro-Palestinian activist, can be deported because his actions could compromise U.S. foreign policy interests. Khalil's attorneys are expected to appeal the ruling. And today, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to give daily updates on its efforts to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported last month. Ladies.
Thank you, Reagan. Intramural sports are in full swing here at the University of Oklahoma.
When we return, how one team is creating bonds on and off the field.
Well, yeah, perfect weather for some outdoor intramural sports, but will this beautiful weather stick around? I'll have your full forecast. Weather's next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Friday we've had today. Temperatures are very comfortable right now, 75 degrees, a low humidity. It is dry outside, and we've had very high allergies due to that because we have a high pressure system keeping these allergies around. Those trees are at very high. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm just as stuffy as I'm sure some of y'all are. It's definitely a struggle around these parts right now. As I mentioned, though, satellite and radar, we do have that high pressure system sitting to our south right now, keeping those dry and warm conditions around for the next few days. So we are watching that as it will continue into this weekend. Right now, current temperatures across the region, you can see we're a lot warmer over here, 75 degrees, 72 up in Tulsa, 80 down in Dallas. So majority of our neck of the woods sitting in a warmer trend for the next few days. Something that is going to increase though as we head into the weekend are those wind gusts. So as we head into Saturday, watch as we see wind gusts of up to 28 miles per hour here in Norman by 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then as we head into Sunday, 27 miles per hour for those wind gusts by 10 a.m. So just something to keep in mind, not going to cause any problems, but it is definitely there out in the air this weekend. 10 p.m. it's going to slow down just a little bit by Sunday. So over the next few days, 80 degrees for tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day again, 91 by Sunday. We're going to be feeling summer temperatures by the end of your weekend, but we do have a cold front that will make its way through from Sunday into Monday, cooling our temperatures down just a little bit. 68 by Monday, 69 on Tuesday. And then as we head into Wednesday, we're going to slowly start to warm back up into those summer temperatures once again. But Sunday just looks beautiful. That is wild. 91 degrees for Sunday. So a great thing to do, head out to the pool this weekend. 80 degrees for Saturday. That UV index is going to be 8.7 and then up to 9 by Sunday. So don't forget to wear that sunscreen out this weekend. If you do head out to the pool, it's going to be a beautiful weekend to do so. I'm definitely thinking about doing it as we do head into the weekend. So over the next few days, Saturday again, sunshine across the board until the beginning of next week. Temperatures 91, a little bit windy by Sunday. Windy also for Saturday. As we head into the earlier parts of next week, 68 on Monday, 69 on Tuesday. And once again, we're going to warm up just a little bit again into the middle part of next week. But guys, I mean, it's just a great forecast to have over the next few days. You know, it's going to be clear, it's going to be comfortable. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So
I'm loving the look of that 7-day, Carlin.
Oh yeah,
Definitely pool weather. Do you have any plans that you're doing this weekend?
Well, my mom's in town actually, so I'm super excited to hang out with her. We're definitely going to go on some walks and maybe get by the pool on Sunday. I don't know, maybe I can get her to go out there with me. It'll be really fun. A beautiful day to do so.
Yep, definitely.
And I'm
going to
take that suggestion of going to the pool.
Oh
too,
yeah,
so.
91 degrees. I mean, come on, in April, that's awesome. Yeah. I love it.
An amazing UV index too.
Oh yeah, so great.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Carlin. Now, it's the off season for some of your favorite teams, but not for intramural sports here on campus.
OU Nightly's Michael Thompson tells us how for some students, it's more than just a game.
Building a community is a massive part of college, and getting involved in intramural sports is one way to do so. However, while it might be fun, the connections made along the way are truly what lasts a lifetime.
It's not just about playing football for me. It's about being around the people that I like and getting to do something that I love as well. It means so much, and I look forward to it every week. It's my favorite part of the week.
It's easy to get caught up in school and forget to make these connections.
Hey, Bella!
And these out-of-class activities allow students to truly grow closer.
Is it John or Jack?
Hancock?
Yeah.
Let's call him Hancock.
Wait, is it Jack? Huh? It's Jack. I told you.
Or even get to know a classmate's name. But bonding and creating relationships makes a world of a difference.
I met some people and we didn't talk. And we may just say hi, like passing down the hall or something like that. But now it's Coach D. Every time they see me, we have serious conversations. Oh my! Hey, Jack! It's mental! Watch it! Watch it! Since we have fun conversations, very playful. Hey, I believe in y'all, okay? We're gonna win this game. It's a lot of activity now. These friendships have grown, and these could be lifetime friendships right here.
Win or lose, it really is all just about having fun, because it's those connections that you make that help you feel like home while you're away. Reporting from Norman, Michael Thompson.
Thanks, Michael. Well, football isn't going anywhere. When we come back, we'll have all you need to know about the first ever Crimson Combined.
And we have an exclusive interview with one future Sooner who found his home in Oklahoma before he suits up officially in the Crimson and Cream. Big Friday Sports is next.
Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Hallie McPherson.
I'm Darby McCormick. We checked flag football off the list for today, but I think it's time to get to Owen Field for some Sooner football. If you are an OU fan that had a problem with the football team having a little bit of fun, instead of a traditional spring game, the Crimson Combine might be right up your alley. OU announced the event will extend the action an extra 30 minutes to include drills from a normal OU practice. The team will sign some autographs afterwards.
And Darby, speaking of spring football coming to an end this weekend, this is just the beginning for one new addition to the OU football roster. OU Nightly sports reporter Michael Thompson has more on how dreams came true for John Locke Jr.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of touchdowns. That is what tight end transfer John Locke Jr. will be pursuing this season as he makes his Sooner debut that's been a long time coming.
This was my dream school growing up, and so it's been really hard to not enjoy everything, but so far just being able to park in that parking lot and walk into this amazing stadium and facility every day has to be my favorite part, because I start every day with a smile whenever I walk into this place.
A lifelong dream seemed dead and buried, so when the Sooners came calling, he only had eyes for the Crimson and Cream.
I really wrote the dream off whenever I went and played at Louisiana Tech, and so, you know, I never even thought that this would be something that could happen again. It was a dream come true, and I had to pinch myself, and my parents were crying because it was just such an incredible thing that we literally thought was not going to happen again.
While the philosopher John Locke was known for shaping governments, John Locke Jr. knows that his role in shaping this OU offense won't be handed to him, but earned through the skill set that he is ready to showcase.
It's going to be amazing, but at that point, I'm going to know it's deserved, and I'm going to know that I've really worked super hard this spring and all summer and fall camp for it. I think you're going to see more from me in the pass game. I wasn't given the opportunity to do so. I was able to establish myself as an effective run blocker, which I think is the hardest part of being a tight end, so I'm excited to show what I can do with my hands.
And speaking of the philosopher,
if Ancestry.com is 100% accurate, I'm actually related to him. But I do get that question a lot, and life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
while he won't be unlocking minds like the philosopher, he will look to unlock defenses this coming fall. Reporting from Owen Field, Michael Thompson, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Michael. And while we're on the topic of new additions, we have the story of one more. Jaden O'Neal talked to Landon Thomas about his major journey this year that led him to the Palace on the Prairie.
Throughout OU football history, the Sooners have had their fair share of greats at the quarterback position, from Jason White, Sam Bradford, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, you name them. And I'm here in Mustang, Oklahoma to tell you about the next possible Sooner great.
I was able to just see myself, being like in the program.
Jaden O'Neal is a four-star recruit that announced his commitment to the Sooners on June 24th, 2024. But a lot has changed since then, as just a month ago, he transferred from California all the way to Mustang, Oklahoma. And with that change comes with new challenges and opportunities.
I feel like, with the standard, I feel like it's kind of like up in like my game, being in the weight room. Guys are being hard on me. Coach Duran, the strength and conditioning coach, he's being hard, making sure my form is right. Coach Blankenship, while we're on the field, making sure I'm like understanding like the playbook and certain route concepts. So I'm glad that, that the guys are helping me kind of, just, transition, from California to here.
That's not the only change Jaden has experienced in the last year since his commitment to the Sooners, as OU let go of former offensive coordinator Seth Luttrell, who was a big reason for Jaden's commitment in the first place.
Like the old coaching staff, Coach Seth, like Luttrell, like when he was out there, I feel like he kind of had like some of the same mannerisms and, just kind of him being a man. It kind of just matched my dad a little bit. Just like the energy, that kind of drew me to it. Like when the old coaching staff was there, just like the real and authentic, behavior that the coaches was like showing me was kind of brought me and envisioned myself being in the offense with them.
Mustang football head coach Lee Blankenship agrees that while Jaden is a special talent, he wants him to learn one thing during his time in Mustang, and it's not even about winning games.
My expectations for Jaden is to have fun and be a high school kid and just have fun playing football. My expectations are that he leaves our program and he's got some lifelong friends. He's got coaches that he knows love him no matter what. That love and respect for him is not predicated on how good of an athlete he is. It's what kind of a person that he is.
Reporting in Mustang, Oklahoma, Landon Thomas, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Landon. And we have more Sooner sports coming to you, including a live report previewing OU baseball's game tonight.
That's right, and what you need to watch out for over the weekend. Don't you go anywhere.
Perfect weekend to head out to El Del Mitchell to watch some baseball. Today, 73 degrees by 7 p.m., 80 by 4 p.m., and it's going to continue to be great this weekend. Hallie, Darby.
Thank you, Carlin. And speaking of baseball, number 19 OU baseball is capping their 7-game homestand with a conference series against number 17 Vanderbilt. Our OU Nightly sports reporter Kevin Daniel is at El Del Mitchell Park with more.
Thanks, Darby. The Sooner schooner has been on a Sooner skid here at El Del Mitchell Park, with OU losing their last 4 home games. They look to bounce back tonight against Vanderbilt. Head coach Skip Johnson tells me the team is focused on just playing baseball.
Well, Kevin, all those guys are in there, and they're balling. I mean, you wouldn't believe the locker room. They're balling and squalling. They're feeling sorry for themselves. No, that ain't the mood. The mood is, you got to keep working, man. This game demands you to work at it. It demands you every day to go out and keep working and keep working and keep working, no matter what the outcome is. The outcome is just about the baseball. It's not about winning and losing. How can you be confident on against the baseball?
Unfortunately, OU will have to go without star pitcher Kyson Witherspoon, as Sooners Illustrated reports he will not play due to back spasms. Another pitcher will be taking the mantle tonight. Hallie, Darby, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. OU softball is focused on nothing but the Tide this weekend as they head to Alabama for a 3-game series. Game 1 starts tomorrow at 3, and in the Sooners' last timeout, they won the Bedlam battle versus Oklahoma State. Maya Bland said bye to the Pokes after launching the game-winning home run, and she knows that her teammates hold the key to her confidence.
I think most confidence it comes from my teammates. You know, having an off day, they're going to pick us up. I think everyone can speak on that. So it was great. It was more fun than a confidence boost, if anything, you know, being able to celebrate with my sisters.
And there's more than just the Crimson Combine this weekend. Number 6 men's golf will end their regular season in the Lone Star State. And as for tennis, the men will face Vanderbilt tomorrow, and the women host Mississippi State tonight at 5.
The Oklahoma City Thunder is wrapping up the regular season with one of the most dominant seasons in NBA history as they face the Utah Jazz tonight and prepare for the playoffs. Several starters will be sitting this one out, and tip-off is at 8:30 tonight.
Thank you for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Darby McCormick.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live on weekdays at 4:30. Good night.